This week on the show, we're discussing Xbox increasing the price of Game Pass. What's next for Halo? Your review of Yooka-Replay. James, am I pronouncing that correctly?
Replaylee.
Yooka-Replaylee? Replaylee.
Replaylee.
I'm missing the L. Thank you.
Yeah.
And Sony reportedly updating the DualSense. I'm your host, Ewan. And today I'm joined by my fellow gamers, Harry
Hello.
and James.
Hello.
Let's start the show first with an unpopular gaming opinion submitted by you, the listeners. This comes the way of Henry Elson, who jumped onto the comments of our last episode on YouTube, as you can too, and wrote, "Unpopular opinion, Red Dead 2 was robbed for Game of the Year by God of War 2018. Red Dead had better characters and story. God of War was more setting up Ragnarok." Firstly to you, James. What do you make of this opinion? Would you have picked Red Dead 2 over God of War? He's looking quizzical.
Yeah, no. Would I pick? No, I wouldn't. I think that there's something about Red Dead 2, the way that people talk about it, that it kind of puts me off it a little bit. Like, I think fans need to maybe understand that they can sometimes be quite detrimental to the product that they're trying to champion.
So you're turned off Red Dead just because of its fans. That's what you're saying?
As we were discussing at the beginning of the show as well, Pokemon is another prime example. But I would not. I personally would not have picked Red Dead. I don't understand the obsession that everyone has with Red Dead. I see so many people comparing Yote to Red Dead now. Like, it just becomes. It's like, I mean, maybe that says something for this game being the benchmark for open world games because everyone seems to compare it. But the comparisons are always just so like shallow and boring and concern things I don't really care about. I'm not a Western guy in any way. I just look at like Western media in terms of like, you know, like Red Dead and I don't know,
Cowboys.
like cowboy. Yeah, not like Westerners in like non-Japanese, but like, yeah, I just look at all that shit and I get like immediately thirsty and I'm just like not interested. It's just not
thirsty.
Well, it's like,
you see a tumbleweed go past and you're like,
yeah,
wow, I need
like,
some
wow,
Diet Coke right now.
I'm so dehydrated. Yeah, so I don't think. Yeah, I don't agree. I'm really sorry. I'm looking at the Game Award nominations. Just to, like, it's God of War, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Celeste, Spider-Man, Monster Hunter World, and Red Dead. I think out of those games, I'm probably most happy with God of War winning. I think that game did so much more for its franchise in terms of just how it changed up its formula and yeah. So I think that's an incorrect opinion. In my
Respectfully,
opinion.
Henry, I think you're wrong on two fronts. Firstly, God of War is better than Red Dead 2 in many ways. I understand a little bit about the kind of like I don't know, being able to live out a Western sort of fantasy in Red Dead 2. Like, I think it very much like hands agency over to you, the player, to kind of just like do what you want in that world and go things about your own pace and kind of I don't know, make the character your own a little bit. Similar to like Ghost of Yote, right? Like, you can kind of, it's a bit of a Ronin fantasy. You can kind of play it in your own sort of way as well. But God of War, like, especially in the things that they call out, character and story, like, I just think it's done so much better in God of War. And to say that it's merely setting up Ragnarok as well seems like an insane statement to make in my mind. Like, I think
I think it's better than Ragnarok as well. I mean, I know,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like in a lot of
like
ways.
Ragnarok is standing on the shoulders of the giant that is that first God of War game in the kind of reboot. Yeah, Harry, I'm sensing you agree with us here too.
Yeah, I very much agree with you guys. I think there are many other games that should come before Red Dead. I think Celeste came out that year. Spider-Man, I think, was better as well. I think like Rockstar are pretty unchallenged when it comes to like the technical side of things, but once you're like 10 hours in, I don't think much of that matters. I
know Red Dead still has that kind of janky game feel that GTA
it does.
has
I don't
as
think
well.
it
Like,
I don't think it plays super well. It's an incredible story, but like, if I'm thinking about replaying any of those games that got nominated for Game of the Year in 2018, Red Dead is on the bottom of the list.
Yeah. Sorry, Henry. I think we're all against you here. But hey, that's what unpopular gaming opinions are all about. If you feel different, maybe jump to defense of Henry in the comments. Otherwise, let us know what your unpopular gaming opinion is. Speaking of unpopular gaming opinions and gaming decision making, perhaps let's talk about Xbox and their changes to their Game Pass subscription tiers. Three new tiers or like revamped tiers have been introduced. They're coming into effect November 4th for existing subscribers, and they bear a bit of a hefty price increase as well. Just to kind of quickly recap, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, which is the top tier, is moving from $23 a month up to $36 a month. PC Game Pass is going up to $19.50 thereabouts, up from $14. Xbox Game Pass Premium is now going to be $18, up from $16, and Game Pass Essential is going to be $13, up from $11. Those prices all in Australian, obviously. In light of this news as well, I just thought this was an interesting tidbit. The former chair of the FTC, who notably tried to block Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard, took to Twitter to express her disappointment, writing, quote, "Microsoft's acquisition of Activision has been followed by significant price hikes and layoffs harming both gamers and developers. As we've seen across sectors, increasing market consolidation and increasing prices often go hand in hand." James, we haven't really spoken about this offline at all. So I haven't got your kind of sense check on this up until this point, but what's your take on these changes to the tiers and the price increases that come with them?
There's like a lot I feel like I could say about this, but I've seen. I think it is shit. I think it's definitely, obviously, a price increase is shit, right? Like, I think objectively, no one wants to pay more for anything. That's how markets and money works. But I do think that long term, the writing has been on the wall for Game Pass in that we've always kind of said it's too good to be true money wise, right? Like it is a it costs a lot. It costs a lot now, but it didn't really feel like it cost a lot before. Because of how much, like, I went through the games that I've played this year on Game Pass, and there's at least 8, and that's a good mix of like AAA and indie.
And those are 8 games you could have been spending $100 each on, right?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like I said, a mix of indies, so not necessarily, but like I think the yearly cost now is what, like 300 and something
for the top one. It's like 360.
Yeah. So but then I also think like maybe I would, if I bought those games and owned them, like, but there are other games there like Adamfall. I probably wouldn't have tried that if it wasn't on Game Pass. So it's like a there's some push and pull there in terms of what it is, like in terms of value and stuff. For me, like, I think it is, because I play so many games and I like to try a lot of different things. I think it is still has value for me. But I think it's going to change the way I think about like, if I know there's nothing in the next 2 months and I can save like $60 to $100, like, I probably would cancel and renew when I'm ready, like dip back in and out. Whereas before, even if there was a month where like there was nothing I was playing, I wouldn't have thought about it. You know what I mean? And I think that that's what might really get them in that way. So does that make sense? Do you know what I'm saying?
It does.
Yeah,
it
like
does. I'm with you.
Like I didn't really think about it before, and now it's more at the front of my mind, and I think that won't play out well for them in the long term. I do still think it's good value if you, depending on who you are. There is one thing I want to. I mean, you probably have a chat first, Ewan, but I think adding all this shit that I'm not going to use to try and pretend that it's got more value now, like all the Ubisoft back catalog and the Fortnite shit. I would rather they had some kind of opt-in system rather opt-out system or something like that. Like maybe introduce another tier, like, or something, rather than kind of be like, it's kind of like Foxtel, right? Where you kind of, I mean, if anyone remembers what Foxtel was, but you got like the 6, you got like, they would do the packages, but there was always like, you had 6 channels and they were never like kind of a package. Like, it was set up so someone would have to buy at least 2 packages if they had that interest, if that makes sense. Like, it was designed to kind of get you in to multiple tiers and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. You guys talk.
I'm largely in agreement with you. I think like there has been a visceral reaction to this and people kind of critiquing the move, which I think is kind of like our default sort of state when there is a price rise attached to something, particularly sort of in the kind of economic climate that we're in at the moment. But this was always going to happen, and it always needed to happen. Just because, like, as you said in the past, like, it is kind of too good to be true. Like, you know, it's been lauded as like the best deal in gaming. And there's kind of this talk, like I watched a Ryan McCaffrey video about it recently this week, and he was talking about the mystery economics of Game Pass. And I'm like, I don't think it was all that mysterious. I think they weren't making money was the point of it. Like, I think there was kind of an element of penetrative pricing involved in this, in that they wanted to, you know, price it at quite a low amount, get people in, get people kind of hooked to the service, and, you know, win some goodwill for Xbox, with the view that then it would go up in price over time. It's how every other subscription model has worked. Look at Netflix. I think what's maybe a strategic blunder in Microsoft's case here is just how quickly the price has jumped. And I think this is the second increase in price in like this year and like the last few months, which is a bit crazy. And this time around, it's a serious jump. So I think it should have been a bit more gradual so that people didn't feel the hurt on their hip pocket in the same way. But I'm in agreement with you, James. Like, I was on Game Pass Ultimate. I have actually cancelled that subscription as a result, but that was really my sort of assessment going, well, I'm not likely to play anything at the moment, but I do need to go back and finish Clair Obscur at some point, and when that does happen, I'll re-up the subscription, maybe at a lower price point, like to the PC Game Pass or something. But yeah, like, games cost more and more money to make. We're seeing the kind of sticker price of games go up. Like, I think it just makes sense that this subscription goes up as well. And yeah, to their credit, although the value doesn't speak to us, I'm sure there are people out there that kind of look at the Fortnite inclusion and go, oh, hey, that's a pretty good get. So it might not speak to us, but even if you do kind of play like 1 or 2 games a month with your subscription, you're getting a pretty good return on that, I would say. So yeah, maybe that's my unpopular gaming opinion of the day. How are you feeling about it, Harry?
Yeah, I think it was definitely inevitable. Like, for so long, it was very competitive, and obviously so many people were subscribed. I think the timing of the hike is probably where a lot of the the issues lie for people. And also, obviously, coming off this Activision merger, like, it's just been nonstop bad news out of Xbox and Microsoft regarding these sorts of things. So I don't know. It's a hard one. I'll be interested to see how it shakes up their financials in terms of, like, obviously a lot of people will be cancelling. I wonder if it will become more of a service where people only dip into it on months where they want to play day and date releases. But yeah, like, I personally know a lot of people who use Game Pass, and they're what I would call casual gamers, but like, obviously get exposed to a lot of games through Game Pass, who are now reconsidering either having it all together or what tier they're on. So yeah, I don't know. I definitely think I agree that it was inevitable, especially with Microsoft being in the position that they're in, or Xbox rather. Yeah, but the timing is really rough, especially with the jump as well, like you mentioned.
Yeah, it's also not. I get very confused about, like, so I think Sarah Bond gave an interview like just a week before saying how profitable it was and stuff. So, like, who is timing that interview going out mixed with, like, and then, like, oh, by the way, we're going to up the price of it as well. That even if that, I feel like their pricing increase isn't necessarily adding profit. I think it's maybe just bringing it up to be what it should have been from the beginning, like, in terms of, like, what you get and how much it costs them and stuff. But because of the comment, like, the week before, like, it just doesn't really play that well. I just don't understand what they're doing. It
feels like all the decisions they're making are to sort of scrounge back from that merger, because it just nothing has worked out from them from that.
Yeah.
Really.
And I don't remember how I felt. I think I said years ago that I just want it to happen so we don't talk about it anymore. But now, like,
we're talking about it all the time.
Now it's like, and it's like arguably worse. Like, I feel like this.
Yeah, I do wonder how they define profitability in the sake of Game Pass, because I think you're right, James. Like the timing of the comms on that is crazy, and I think they do need to get their ducks in a row over at Microsoft or Xbox in that regard.
The whole
But yeah, like
pond, Ewan.
are they defining profitability in the sake of in the sense that what it costs us to like run and maintain the service that is Game Pass, like we make more than those expenses back? Like there's no way they're covering all the development costs of the games and everything by way of the sales that they make, quote unquote, via Game Pass. Like I just can't see that.
That's the other thing. Like
factoring out.
you think about like the simplest way to think about it, right, is like the cost of say to get GTA on there versus that's like the output, like in terms of money.
Sure.
And then how much are they getting in every month from
Yeah.
people who are paying and stuff. But then like that seems kind of reasonable. But then you factor in like the first party product, and it's like that's where it doesn't seem
probably all
like
falls
they're
apart.
making any money. Yeah, like
Yeah. Like all the people playing Indiana Jones on Game Pass and Halo and all of that, like are they making those development costs back?
I doubt it. I mean, how many people would have
right?
like Indie was fantastic, but how many people would have subscribed to Game Pass Ultimate to play it on day one?
Yeah,
You know,
like,
and
then
then
particularly when they start adding more to that. Although, granted, Call of Duty seems to be kind of missing still from the from like the day and date sort of releases. When you factor in more of these kind of games, more of these Bethesda sort of published titles, etc., and I think it just becomes harder for the math to work. Which again, I think is just heightens the need to raise the price. It wouldn't surprise me, scary as it might be, that this kind of goes up again in the not too distant future. But I'm sure they'll have to do that modeling of like, right, when we lose people and they go and buy just like the occasional month here and there throughout the year when they are playing a game on the service, like are they kind of doing all that modeling to figure out what it is versus them just staying subscribed throughout the year? Yeah, it's
I don't think
interesting.
they are. Like, I genuinely
there
don't
must
at
be
this
some
point.
business sense and acumen kind of in the business there somewhere, though, surely, right? Maybe I shouldn't be so trusting.
Yeah, I think it might be a bit of an overestimation.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to sort of flag, I guess, as a bit of a discussion point is like, do we think there is enough games on the horizon coming to Game Pass that kind of makes you all that excited to be a subscriber?
No. No.
It's this has been a good year. I'll say it's like 2025. Like you could
so
play
far it has like Clair Obscur, Doom,
Blueprints,
Avowed to a lesser extent,
Hollow Knight, even like
I mean,
South of, if you like
South of Midnight,
yeah.
I think did you say Blueprints already? I'm pretty sure that was
Hollow Knight. Yeah,
but like you can probably get. I mean, Blueprints and Silksong for sure you can get for cheaper than what an Ultimate month would be.
I mean,
so you just
bucks,
outright
right? So, yeah,
outright own the game. At least in Silksong's case,
yeah,
I'm sure like
Metro
on like day and date for like Clair Obscur, yeah, but I'm sure you can probably get that on a sale now, for a pretty decent price. And if you're, trudging through it at not a slow pace, it's going to take you at least 2 months to get through. Right, it's a big game. So I don't know.
This month as well, we got The Outer Worlds 2 coming out as well.
Yeah.
So I just don't. Maybe we're kind of nearer that point where like every month Game Pass is getting its kind of big hitter, but
it's also,
I'm not sure how likely
The Outer Worlds
going to go over the next 12 months.
Would you be playing that if you it becomes this like a chicken and egg situation where it's like, would you be playing it if you didn't have Game Pass? You know what I mean? And that's kind of what I was saying about like Adamfall is like, it's a game where I probably wouldn't have paid any attention to it whatsoever.
Yeah, but because it was on Game Pass,
I gave it a shot and I was like, yeah, wow, this is actually quite good. So I feel like there's an element there that doesn't really have a direct cost to like us, but like there is an indirect cost there in terms of, I think some games might fall through.
I do wonder how much of the strategy is them like updating the Game Pass on like the Xbox app on PC now. I know obviously got the handheld PCs kind of coming to market too, where like Xbox is serving more as that ecosystem that kind of brings all your games together. I wonder how much of it is kind of like has in mind people loading up their games and seeing a new release kind of being advertised to them, and they see that $70, $80, $100 sort of price tag attached to it, or play as part of your Game Pass subscription. And it's kind of people are tempted more and more to kind of activate, maintain a Game Pass subscription to gain access to those games rather than paying for them.
Yeah.
Given that Xbox are trying to create this ecosystem that brings all your games together, maybe it's an opportunity to kind of market their own subscription service in a way. Yeah, I don't know. I think you made a good point earlier, James, about us not actually like owning these games as well too. I don't know how much you own any digital game nowadays, but something just to be said about it just sitting in your library forevermore without having to maintain a subscription.
That's kind of a big kicker for me, like especially because I like to collect, like having games physically. I would always elect to do that. And even in an instance where if a game is, you know, cheaper or even slightly more than what a month of Game Pass would be, I'm going to buy it at that, and it's going to sit in my backlog because I know that if I get Game Pass and I download it, I'm not going to play it for however long, unless I'm like really eager. Like Blueprints, I bought when it came out. I didn't even realize it was on Game Pass. Silksong, I bought. Yeah, I don't know. So I don't know how many other people are in my boat in that regard. And yeah, but it's an interesting thing to consider. I think that pushes those people away even more.
Yeah. I'm curious to see how it impacts like new game announcements as well, and like how they explain, okay, this is available to you if you're on this subscription tier, and it's coming to Xbox and then PC.
And what happens with like Halo multiplayer and stuff? Like, is that going to be free to play? Like, yeah.
I feel like it's going to get more complicated as time goes on as well. But no doubt we'll be here to chat about it more when it all unfolds. Let's stick with Xbox a moment longer, though, to talk about Halo and specifically the future of Halo. Halo Studios announced a panel discussion to be held next month, which will provide, quote, a deep dive into the future of the Halo franchise. This follows last year's announcement from the developer, who previously known as 343 Industries, in case you had forgotten, like I had, that they had changed names, that they are working on multiple Halo games using the Unreal Engine 5. James, maybe first to you. What do you think we're going to see, or what would you hope to see from Halo Studios over the next month?
No, like at this point, it's just anything, right? Like I feel like.
Yeah.
I think I've said this before, maybe publicly. It's just like so sad to think about how big an event Halo 3 was. Like it was everywhere, right? It was just everyone was playing it that weekend. Everybody was talking about. It was just like everybody was there. And now like Halo Infinite came out, and it was like a fart. Not even a fart in the wind. Like it was so low key, and then it wasn't even finished. And then it took a year for them to do what they should have done at launch, and it was over by then already, right? And that should have been like a really bold new frontier for the series, but it just never hit that point. So I think they just need to it needs an RE7 moment. They need to just go back to basics, like look at what really works for Halo and like kind of bring it back. But I do fear that it's probably, I mean, the thing is with Halo now, right? I think it's probably going to be multi-platform right now. So,
you'd think so.
I would expect Master Chief Collection to hit PS5 in the next 6 months. I reckon that's 100% happening. Because I
think that'd be a great kind of like 1-2 punch if they announce the Master Chief Collection coming to PlayStation, and then they like kind of previewed the next game in the series, like kind of being a bit back to basics at telling a focused story. Like I love like I don't know, kind of how grand that sort of Bungie trilogy is in its storytelling. But it does maintain a quite like focused, it's not an overly complex story. Like I imagine that I feel like they kind of got more convoluted as time got on, and they started introducing kind of different themes and directions to them. I love just how stitched together that first trilogy is. If they could find some way to kind of return to that sort of story and that sort of level of focus, I'd really appreciate that. I don't know how you do that without kind of getting the writers from Bungie back on board necessarily, or teaming up with someone else, because I just don't know if they've really got the capabilities in studio at the moment. Like I haven't yet seen it.
I do wonder if like in the face of, say, like I just think of games like Silent Hill F where you kind of keep that core but do something entirely different. Like I think the big thing with Silent Hill especially is these new games kind of try and capture that magic that the first 3 games that everyone fell in love with do. So I don't know
Mm.
I think they need to do something like just completely fresh. I don't know what that is. I think it's a gameplay first thing, though. I think I know what you mean, Ewan, about the story, and I think the story is quite complicated. The lore and stuff was quite deep. It just wasn't in the game. It was obviously always in extra stuff, and people loved that shit. I think that should still play a part, but I think they just need to get the game right first. They need to have those cool split screen kind of,
Yeah, the pillars of Halo need to be there.
Co-op
Yeah, but then I also, now that I'm saying that out loud, I'm like, has the world changed? Like, does that matter anymore? Like, do people really want split screen campaigns? Like,
I don't know, people really wanted it with Infinite, and then it got canned. Like, yeah.
Yeah. It's a good point though, James. I think that just don't promise it if it's not going to show up.
Well, yeah,
it might be a good
the first step is to maybe just tell the truth about your game and what it will be.
I think some sort of reboot would be would be good. I'm not even like particularly wedded to Master Chief as a character anymore. Like maybe that's a bit blasphemous to say, but maybe like just a different Spartan in like a different pocket of space. You tell just kind of a different story, bringing over some of those same themes that you talked about, James, the way the Silent Hills has done. That could be cool. I'm not really sure what it is I'm asking for, but definitely something more similar to the storytelling of the first kind of 3 games. Like
we do know that they're doing a Combat Evolve remake. Like that will almost definitely be one of the things they're announcing.
Right.
Yeah. So that's being co-developed by the guys who did the Obsidian remake.
Right. Okay.
Or is rumored to be.
I've forgotten this.
Oblivion, do you mean?
Yes, sorry. Yeah, Oblivion.
I was like, what are you talking about? But
yeah, in Unreal 5. Remember they released, when they rebranded to Halo, they released that
of course. Yeah.
plastic looking Unreal like video and Chief pulls the energy sword out. Yeah, so they're doing a CE remake, and they're apparently it is like a remake. They're tweaking things, but apparently it's in a hybrid UE5 engine as well, and that will either go very well or horrendously. So
cool.
I'm getting the sense that none of us are particularly optimistic. I really want it though. Halo meant so much to me, particularly.
Me too. I hope that they can pull it off, but I just don't think the track record has been particularly good, and I don't really know what else. Like, obviously they'll fully show off this Combat Evolve remake, and presumably there's something else as well. But I just don't know what you do.
I don't feel like I need another remake of Combat Evolved.
Halo 1.
I mean,
I feel like even Halo 2, like that game was monumental in that it was one of the first online games on console. That game hasn't had an update, in a meaningful update, in a long time. Like, why not focus all your attention there if you're going to do something like this? Like, CE has been remade a few, I feel like at least 2 times, maybe once. But I don't know. Like 2 is so revered for such good reason. So I feel like all the focus on 1 just like is a lot. So yeah. I don't know if they could announce anything that would excite me at this point, Ewan. Like, I don't, which is quite depressing to say as somebody who was really into 2, 3, and 4, especially.
The thought did occur to me. What might excite me, and this obviously isn't going to happen, but imagine
Last
if.
of Us, but with
I was going to say if they went to Machine Games and said, "We want you to make a Halo game," like. Give us the Wolfenstein of Halo games.
There's a big mismatch there between like what Machine does and what Halo was, but I reckon
they could do a good job though. Like the indie game is very different kind of tonally to the Wolfenstein games. I think they can adapt.
There's still
I like the idea of giving it to another studio, but I think like id would maybe be more interesting given what they did with Doom. Because I think they sort of took the identity of those games and turned it into something new, and is similarly arcadey. I think the modern Wolf games are a bit different, but
like get scrap Marathon. Make Halo this like massive.
Bungie are not it right now. I would advise.
You never know. No, they
would advise against it.
They could be cooking. You never know.
They're not.
No.
James is trying to get into my head, so I pick Marathon again for Fantasy Critic next year. It's not happening. All right, James, let's chat about your review of Yooka-Replaylee now. It's I feel like I need to take my
You missed
time.
the L again. Yooka-Replaylee.
Yooka-Replaylee. Why can I not say the name of this game? You know what I'm putting down, though. It's a reimagining of the 3D platform with a bunch of new included content. James, you were a little bit down on Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, the remaster recently.
Okay.
So how does...
Wait. You're like setting this up to have the comments come after me. I was down on the treatment of Galaxy 1 and 2. I still think they're very good games.
So how's the treatment of this then, I guess, is where I was headed.
Definitely better, but I mean the difference here is the first Yooka-Laylee, the original Yooka-Laylee, wasn't quite on the same level as Galaxy 1 and 2, right? Like there's a lot of issues with it. This is a very I almost want to call it a remake. I think it's quite incredible how much has changed in this game that improves the experience for the better. It for one, like it basically unlocks all of your abilities straight away, like at the beginning of the game. And what that means is you don't spend a lot of time moving between worlds, backtracking and stuff, which could get a bit tedious in the original. Because this is, I think back in the day, I say back in the day as if Yooka-Laylee was so long ago, but I think it's almost 10 years, which is kind of hectic.
Yeah, it was 2015 or something, right? 2014.
Yeah, it's nuts, man. Like I'm getting old. But yeah, they were definitely trying to appeal to people who liked Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie. But the problem there is like Banjo-Tooie was never quite as good as Kazooie in a lot of ways. So I think what they've done here, I've never really played a game where they kind of are so kind of admitting in their faults and kind of just scrapping a lot of the shit that didn't work from Banjo-Tooie and Yooka-Laylee and making this feel like a much more honed and streamlined homage to Banjo-Kazooie, which is, I guess, what this game was always meant to be, right?
It sounds like a redo.
It is in many ways. Remake. Yeah. So like it's the little things. Like I booted the original last night and I was like, oh, this feels gross. Like you don't feel it feels different until you go back and you're like, wow, I can kind of see why people didn't like this. Like even just little things about how fast you run and how far you can jump and just the animations. Everything has been like completely. It feels like it's been rebuilt from the ground up. Content wise, it is still pretty much the same. And there's still a lot of shit to collect. But even little things like adding in a map, I know that sounds like a small thing, but you know, Banjo-Kazooie never had a map. You just had to go and explore. Now you can go and explore, but it can tell you where to explore if you want, or you can just kind of leave the map if you don't want it. So it's kind of, I feel like the original Yooka-Laylee, it was definitely very stubborn in how it kind of felt old school. Whereas this Replaylee reissue is like, it's more willing to kind of let those little modern sensibilities kick in, which isn't a bad thing. I mean, there's a reason why like a lot of the design elements that weren't in the Banjo games would eventually be added to platformers, right? Like because it's easy to play, or like it's more pleasant to play, I should say. Yeah, really good. Really, really good. Looks great. I played it on Switch too. It is a 30 frames per second game. Like you can't make it 60. But it does look really nice. And I think for this kind of game, that's fine. Like it doesn't need to be 60, right? I think what's important in this case is probably consistency. And I think some people had issues with the demo, but I did not have any drops or anything like that when playing the game. Like it was a rock solid 30. And it looks great. You couldn't run it on Switch like 100%. So I think that's all you can really ask for visually. And
do you think like you would recommend this to someone that has kind of maybe played the likes of Donkey Kong Bonanza this year or Astro Bot the year before? Like,
I mean, they're different games. Honestly, like they're all colorful platformers, right? But I feel like the core of Yooka-Laylee is just collecting shit, and I don't think it's the same ilk as say Astro Bot, especially, but probably closer to I guess the Galaxy games and Sunshine more so than anything else, because it is just about collecting stuff. And I think what Replaylee gets really well, or gets right, I should say, is that you're running around this big open world to collect stuff, but there's always these little distractions everywhere. Like the world feels quite dense with things to do, whereas in the original Yooka-Laylee, it was just big open worlds that were empty. And empty both in terms of things to do and in terms of just like interacting. Like the snow wouldn't react to when you ran through it or something, or you can knock shit off like a post and it will just give you a few coins, like stuff like that. Those little things that kind of like keep your like lizard brain going while you're running around just collecting shit. You know what I mean?
God knows
like,
I need that more of that. In my life.
Like so it's really good. It definitely feels like the true like vision of what they wanted to do with the first game. I think some people might be like argue that it's kind of shit that it took them 10 years to get to this point and they're charging you again, but you do get a discount if you've already owned the first game. I don't know how much that discount is, but you do get it a bit cheaper, which is cool.
That's good.
But I really recommend it. I think it's way better than the original game, and it feels like a true Banjo sequel that I think a lot of people have been wanting for a while. It doesn't reinvent the wheel by any means. Like, it is a true homage to the Banjo-Kazooie games and to a lesser extent like Conquer and stuff. But I think the people who want this kind of game, that's exactly what they want, right? Like, I think it's a really cool little package.
Nice. I think I'll need to, it sounds like the kind of game that I would enjoy in a sort of a quieter patch or during like summer break or traveling, that kind of thing. It sounds like the kind of thing I'd enjoy sinking some time into. God knows how I'm going to find the time to jump into all the games that are on my list by the time the year's up, but I'll try and make some room for it. I did want to ask you as well, James, on the topic of what you've been playing. I noticed over on Twitter that you picked up a PS2 game this week. Do you want to tell us about Project Zero and how excited you are to finally find this?
Yeah, I guess.
You didn't read the notes.
No, I didn't. So yeah, cool. I implore everybody. Fatal Frame is Project Zero is the Australian or European title for Fatal Frame. The first game was very hard to find. I found it. I bought it. That's the story, I guess. So I do implore everybody. Fatal Frame 2 is being remade early next year. And it is a series that I feel like has been on life support for a while. And for such, I don't know why, because it's one of the scariest like series that I've ever played. If you want a horror experience similar to Silent Hill or Silent Hill F or Siren, well worth your time. You play as a Japanese schoolgirl lost in a rural Japanese setting with a camera that exorcises ghosts. Like, what more could you want in the game? It's like a Resident Evil, but instead of guns, you have cameras and film. And it sounds like a bit weird, but it is really cool. It's very cool. There's like nothing else like it. And I'm really glad the series is still going. So definitely try it.
I was aware that it had somewhat of a cult following, and I saw that you picked that up. So I thought you'd be pretty excited and might want to.
I just think with all the
opportunity.
The popular horror games now, like I think Fatal Frame is the next one that needs to get like a, what's the saying? A fair shake
shot
of the
in the
stick,
arm,
as they say. Yeah.
It's moment in the sun.
Absolutely.
Yeah, nice. Last bit of news that I wanted to cover off this week is a new version of the PS5 DualSense controller with a removable battery is reportedly set to be released by Sony. This updated controller would be a departure from the current model, which has a USB-C port, obviously, and a new charge. I know this has kind of always been a talking point with like Xbox controllers having removable batteries, but it does kind of annoy me just like how often I feel like I need to kind of dock my DualSense controllers and charge them. And I wouldn't mind like a little hot swappable battery situation, which is maybe a change in tone from where I've been previously. Harry, would you welcome this change to the DualSense controller?
I mean, it's cool that it'll be an option. It's not an option that I'm particularly interested in. I can't say that I often find, I don't know, I feel like the battery life on the DualSense is pretty good, unless you're playing a game that is intensively using its features.
Mine dies of death nowadays.
Yeah,
I don't know. I was worn out.
They're so shit, man. Like I don't know.
I played Silent Hill yesterday for probably about 5 or 6 hours and still had 2 bars left by the time I plugged the controller in. So
I also feel like that's not accurate. The bar situation. Like I feel
maybe
like
not.
Yeah,
I think that batteries are more of a hassle, and I hate that about my Xbox controllers. To be honest, I bought rechargeable batteries for them instead.
As somebody who has like an Elite and a Pro controller and a DualSense, I dread playing a game for review on my PS5 just because I am not a charging person. I just like put my shit down and fall asleep usually on the couch,
okay.
Which is definitely a me problem.
Right, so it's a user error, not the controller.
No.
I do leave them on my coffee table. I'm with you.
I just don't understand how the battery life is so good on the Xbox and the Nintendo controllers, but then the DualSense is so bad. Like the extent of it.
Yeah, I agree. The comparison is night and day, especially the Switch Pro controllers. Those things last like 80 hours.
I feel like they last for 3 years. Like, I plugged mine in like 2 years ago, and it's still going. But like, that is what I find frustrating, and I suspect it's to do with all of the light bars and all that shit, like which I don't even like or turn off because I play a lot of horror, right?
Adaptive triggers and all that.
Yeah, like I don't need that shit. But yes, I
welcome this decision. Like even from a
I agree,
kind of
it's a good
to
decision.
Repair sort of like view. I think it would be great to kind of have a controller that's a bit more friendly to like replace some of those parts that wear out sooner rather than others. I would love to see them revisit the analog sticks in some way, because I've worn out 2 controllers with drift on them already. I love it's the Elite controller, the PS DualSense one, isn't it? What's it called? Edge. The Edge controller.
The Edge, yeah, DualSense Edge.
I love that you can swap the sticks out on those. Like that's one of the best features to that controller, if you ask me. So yeah, I don't mind it from that regard, and particularly if it's like a hot swap situation that you don't need to charge your controller, you can just lift the battery out and plug it in. That would be very, very cool. But yeah, otherwise the DualSense controller, how do you guys rate it at this point in the generation? Is it one of PlayStation's better controllers? Is it one of the better controllers out there?
It feels better than a 4.
It's my favorite of theirs, to be honest.
Yeah, it's my favorite.
It's just a shame that it's not used more. Like, and I know we're complaining about battery life, and obviously those games that do use it drain the battery life a lot. But I feel like the games that have used it, like Astrobot and Astro's Playroom, and obviously the first-party Sony titles use it a little bit as well.
I think Returnal was the best use of the adaptive controllers that I've encountered. Yeah.
I think it's so cool. It adds such a tactile feel to that game, especially, and like even Astrobot and stuff. It's a shame that like no one else does it. Obviously, when games are multi-plat, you're not going to invest dev resources into making firmware that only works for one controller type. But I love playing Spider-Man and like feeling the trigger get tighter as you swing and things like that. Yeah,
it's I think
I disabled that one.
Yeah.
All right, I have a rapid fire question before we go to what the wiki. Amazon has redesigned its cloud gaming service Luna to focus on party games and has introduced a new feature called the Game Night for Prime members. Game Night will allow users to play games with their friends using their phones and will feature a library of over 25 games, including an AI Snoop Dogg courtroom title, which is not a sentence I had on my 2025 video game bingo card, but nonetheless, here we are. James, would you give Amazon's party social games a go?
No, maybe. I don't know. How much does it cost? That's the question. Maybe
I think it's part of your Prime Video subscription.
Oh, okay. So I can. Well, if I already have it, then I guess sure. Yeah. Why not? Let's do something this weekend. I don't know about how I feel about the use of AI. But which not the best. Yeah, but I mean, I also understand it probably costs a lot of money to have Snoop Dogg on call 24/7 to do voice work for his Amazon Luna game. So I don't blame them. I don't know. I feel like if I didn't do it for Netflix, why would I do it for this, right?
Well, I think as far as I'm forgetting this is a rapid fire topic, but as far as like these kind of TV streaming service game attempts go, like this feels like a little bit more right for the service. If it's a bit more like what are the Jackbox, like that kind of style of thing, I can see that having
I love Jackbox.
Some appeal.
I'm just like so off people at the moment, so I never have people at mine anymore. But I think I'm starting to get a bit bored of my solo existence. So maybe I'll have some people over and try this and report back, but we'll see.
Yeah, fair. Harry?
No, I'm good.
No.
No.
Okay.
Wow.
He's remembered how rapid fire works. All right, let's play What the Wiki, the Press Start podcast game show, where the previous week's winner reads part of a Wikipedia page for an unknown game, and we, the contestants, must guess the game. A point is awarded for each correct guess, with a round concluding after someone's bagged themselves 2 points. Current in the lead is me, just narrowly, with 1 point over James. I'm 28 points, James in 27, Brody's in third on 26, Shannon's on fourth on 23, and Harry, bring up the rear. It's been a long time coming, but opportunity to score some points here. You're currently on 4. James, can we award Harry double points if he gets this?
Sure, why
Just
not?
to catch him up a little bit.
Yeah.
All right,
Thank
good
you,
stuff.
James.
don't know why I
James, as
decided,
last week's
but
winner,
sure.
you are today's host. Take it away.
Okay. I don't know how this will go. Let's see. This game is an action role-playing game where players control characters in a third-person view to explore their surroundings and engage in combat. From the start, players can choose to play as either Ellen or Keats, each with their own distinct yet intertwined storylines and playstyles. The game takes place in 2 worlds: the real world, set in a small seaside Irish village of Doolin, and the fantastical Netherworld, which is inhabited by folk, creatures, and spirits. The game is a 2007 action role-playing game developed by Game Republic and published by Sony for the PlayStation 3. It is set in Ireland and the Celtic otherworld of Irish mythology. Yes, Ewan.
Is this folklore?
It is folklore, Ewan. Congratulations.
Jeez, I was digging into the recesses of my brain.
It's one of my favorite PS3 games.
Was that a launch title on the PS3 as well?
It was close. It was like a big
Yeah.
6-axis game because you did the
Yeah.
the tilt to capture your shit. Pokemon Wishes, man. That game was so yeah. Fucking where's our folklore remaster?
They would sue them nowadays.
Okay, let's go. Following this game's release, this game achieved high popularity, becoming the first game on its console to reach 1 million sales. Its sales eventually surpassed 2 million units worldwide. The game has been well received by publications and has been recognized as one of the best titles on the system. It was followed by 2 direct sequels for the same console and another 3 within the franchise.
Ewan.
Yes, Ewan.
Is this Uncharted Drake's Fortune?
It's not, Ewan. Sorry.
No. Is it? It's the. Did I get the title wrong?
No. The game
Okay.
features pre-rendered backgrounds, and the player primarily controls a swordsman in his fight.
Harry.
Harry, go.
Onimusha.
Can you read the
Warlords.
full title? Okay, cool. Yeah. Wow, Harry, 2 points.
Wow.
Blocked the thing for Ewan.
Block the sweep.
Yeah.
James
Now this
needed
one is
that.
this one is submitted by a guest. That's all I'm going to say for now.
By guest, Harry submitted it.
This game takes place throughout the key events and locations of the first 3 installments of the series and follows the story of a mercenary. I'll just leave it at that. For the first time in a campaign from this series, players can fight alongside the enemy faction forces as well as friendly forces, carrying out missions that regular soldiers cannot. As a mercenary, players are free to decide which tactics and loadouts they will use to fulfill their contract. Employers will reward players with money if successfully completed. The game utilizes the system's touchscreen and rear touch panel. The game was met with positive critical reception for its quality as a portable console first-person shooter. Praise was given to the game's controls and visuals, while criticism was...
Harry.
I feel like I heard Ewan first.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I got this right anyway. Oh god, what was it called? Oh, is it Killzone Mercenaries?
Which is it?
Mercenary. One word, not plural.
Yeah, it is. I'm sorry, Harry. At least you got
That's all right.
2
That's
points.
what I was going to say, but yeah.
Okay. That one was submitted by a friend of the show, Shannon Grixty.
There you go. Wow. What possessed him to dig that one out? There was a moment where I was like, I know this is the Killzone, and I want to say Liberation, but I think that was the PS
Yeah, that was PS
game, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And then I was like, shit, what's it called? And then I remembered the emphasis on mercenary. I was like, I'll go with that. Thank you, James. Well, James, as we now do, there's a possibility for a point for you as the host with a little bonus round of what the UE, which is some specific trivia just for you. So I've prepared 3 categories for you. Would you like to know what the categories are?
Well, yeah. How do I pick
category number 1, your first choice is Resident Evil 2.
Which one?
Your
remake or original?
Your second, I think the remake. I think it is the remake. Your second category option is Resident Evil 3. Or if you feel like it, your third option is Resident Evil 8 Village. Which of the 3 categories would you like to pick?
It's hard, man. I reckon go.
I thought I would play to my audience. You're a massive Resident Evil fan, so I thought, well, you'll appreciate a Resident Evil trivia question, I'd have thought.
It's hard. I can't deal with the shunning if I get something wrong. Let's go 8. That's unexpected. So I'm going to go that.
Yeah, okay. Alrighty.
Yeah.
That concerns me because I think this might have been the easier of the 3. But okay, here we go. In House Benevenito, during the dollhouse puzzle, you recover a key from the right shoulder of the doll woman. What color is the key?
Are you kidding? That's so unfair. Is it a color or is it like a metal? I feel like it's
a... I didn't prepare a hint for this one. It's a metal. Yeah, it's a metal.
Is it silver?
It's silver. Yeah, well done. You didn't even need the multiple choice. It is a silver key. Well done,
wow.
James.
I get the point.
Do you want the other 2?
Yeah, I want them now. Let's just go.
You're going to be really lucky you picked this one. Maybe we'll go in escalating difficulty. Resident Evil 3 is the next one then. What is the combination to unlock the police station shower locker?
Come on. I don't know.
I've got a hint if you want it.
That's so fucked up.
Your hint is it's written on a whiteboard in the first floor room just before the operator's room.
Move on.
Yeah, it gets committed to short-term memory.
What about multiple choice? I've got multiple choice.
Okay.
A, NUC, B, PIQ, C, CAP, or option D, MNP.
It's MNP, I think.
It's not. No, it's CAP.
Okay. Damn. Fake fan.
All right. Do you want a Resident Evil 2 question for shits and gigs? What is the safe code for the waiting room safe?
Oh my God. That's so unfair. I'm so glad I didn't pick this. Is it like 1123?
No.
1125.
Hint, it's the code found in the confiscation report file.
Yeah, no, we're good.
The confiscation report. Oh, yes. I've committed that to memory. Let me just...
the files in that game. That's the one I remember.
You're like practically speedrunning these games now. I thought you had all these committed to memory.
I speedran, when I speedran them in 2019 and 2020 respectively, but they're gone now.
Do you want to try and guess from some multiple choice options?
No, let's move on.
Okay. For those playing along at home, it was left 6, right 2, left 11.
Oh, it's directions. Right.
Yeah.
That's even... Okay. Ewan, that's fucked.
Well, you picked well, James, because you got the bonus point there, which means I'm only 2 points clear at the moment. So still everything to play for. And Harry, with your double points, you moved up to 6 points there. So we'll just need to have you on more often to close that gap. But with that, let's bring it into what was this week's episode of the Press Start podcast. Subscribe to us on Listener or the podcast service of your choice. Follow us at press.au and visit the site at pressstart.com.au. We've been joined today by Harry.
Yep, you can follow me and Harry_Callow on the socials, KALO.
And proving his credentials in all things Resident Evil, it was James.
Yes, you can follow me on Twitter at JamesATJAMZ and Blue Sky. Yeah, I'm there.
And I've been your host, Ewan. You can follow me on socials at Ewan_Roxburgh. Don't forget to leave us your unpopular gaming opinions if you feel so inclined. Otherwise, we'll be back again next week. Happy gaming.
Bye.